Bigger. Why do they always have to go bigger? Don't move. Don't move.
1秒回到小时候。不要再问包比恩看侏罗纪世界统霸天下 Jurassic World Dominion 前要不要看前面5集了。如果你不看，怎么能懂这一次电影里满满向前作致敬的彩蛋梗？姐看的不是电影，是童年啊！就像30年后才又重新聚首的科学家传奇3人组，一现身就是满满的回忆杀。
Everyone will agree with me that your shirtless scene is the most famous shirtless moment of all time. And there are so many memes, and I know you've shown your 2 little boys the original Jurassic Park. What did they say about their father's iconic moment?
Well, I don't know that they know that much about it yet specifically. I showed them, they're 7 and 5, Charlie and River, and I showed them Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park Lost World in this last year, but they saw it on TV. They've never seen a movie in a movie theater. This next movie, Jurassic World Dominion, when it comes out June 10th, Emily and I are gonna take them to the movie theater and see it. But they have, I tell you, now that you mention it, they do have some action figures of me and a couple that were made in that pose with my chest exposed. And so they know about it, but they, I think they use it to fight with,
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Do you still remember the very first time you walked into the Jurassic Park set? What was the very first thing you shot back then?
The Jurassic Park set 29 years ago, Laura Dern, Sam Neill, and I walked into that scene with the Triceratops. And it was really there. Stan Winston had made this true-to-life Triceratops that was, as you remember, sick. But there were puppeteers that you couldn't see behind a kind of a screen who were operating his breathing and his blinking and everything. So it really looked like a real dinosaur. And that's the first thing, as I remember, that we shot almost 30 years ago. Can you imagine that? And that was one of my most favorite dinosaurs, the Triceratops.
And back to the first one, you all bonded together because of the hurricane. And this time you all bonded because of COVID, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Oh my gosh, I remember it. Now that you mention it, that Hurricane Iniki on Kauai in Hawaii in '93, during the first couple of weeks of shooting, at the end of the first couple of weeks, oh my gosh, we all as a company, all of us, Steven Spielberg and all the actors and all the crew, we all pitched in and kind of tried to stay safe during this amazing thing. I don't know if you've ever witnessed and experienced a hurricane, but it shakes you to your very bones. It's very primal, and it certainly did bond us in this, what felt like a life and death experience, just like we're trying to act out in the movie, as a matter of fact.
So the footage of that, there's no water toilet not working. Were you scared?
Oh, it was terrifying and extremely dangerous and life-threatening, and a deep bonding with the cast that I am back with now, and Steven Spielberg and our amazing crew. We became very close and are still family to this day.
Now, 30 years later, we do it at the beginning of this pandemic, and we were one of the first big companies to go out and try to do it and survive. And Alexandra Derbyshire and Pat Crowley were 2 producers who pioneered and spearheaded the protocols, and we stayed safe. And I think many other productions since then have copied and built upon our approach. It was amazing, and yes, we bonded in an unforgettable way because of it.
Anything new of Jeff and Stan you didn't notice until this time?
Well, we went through all of that on the first movie, and then in this film, we had started just before the global pandemic, and so we moved in together, all of us, the entire cast, and our director Colin, and lived together for months. So I learned many things and shared many things as we walked through that radical, always, forever memorable time for all of us.
And I heard that you have a little black book of Ian's lines, and Sam said you will come to work with 50 different suggestions that drive them crazy every day.
Well, all the actors had ideas, especially Sam and Laura. They're two such great actors that they had very strong ideas, and they had discussions with Colin Trevorrow, who was our great director, who was very collaborative and generous, and said, "Oh, you guys know the characters, better than most people. We want to hear from you about what they might say and how you might feel and what you've been doing, before we met you on screen this time in between the movies and stuff." And so I kept working on it and had some lines that I offered and some I was glad for him to say no, not so good. He has very good taste, but once or twice he would say, that a version of that might be interesting, and we kind of collaborated, and some things made it into the movie. It might be, and I was happy to see that they're in the movie.
I love the moment Damn That Feel Good from you.
Damn, that felt good.
What was your feel so good moment this time?
Just being back with my amazing friends, Sam and Jeff, and getting to know Bryce and DeWanda, who become like sisters, was an amazing experience. The entire cast was such a family. So that will be my amazing memory, with the greatest crew who were so brave and sacrificial in trying to get the film industry back to work. Really profound to witness.
You are no stranger to the Jurassic style of action scenes. What are the best things to do after a long day running, jumping, and screaming?
I think a bath is nice. I think not talking is good. And if you have Chris Pratt with you, you learn to do some stretches. He walks us through some techniques to help our bodies after stunts.
And cut.
Hi, first of all, bravo to you. Love this one so much. I think this series is always for the whole family. There are so many touching, tearful, iconic moments in this one. I like to go through some of them and break down some of them with you.